Don't be ridiculous. If I didn't love you, I couldn't stand you.
You're haunted by a dead woman. With all your arcane knowledge, why did you not make a mummy of her and keep her with you?
How dare you! How dare you speak of her in such a manner? How dare you brutalize the memory of her purity, her wisdom, her lofty ethereal nature, her love for me!
Ah, yes. Lygia, the beloved, the august, the beautiful, the dead, the entombed.
Unknown to me, Rowena had her own agenda.
Oh, my sweetie. I thought that you'd never come.
Have no fear, dearest. He's dead drunk, mourning his dead wife.
I hate every moment you're forced to be with that fool.
Do not fret. I have a plan that will rid me of him.
Careful, my love. He mustn't suspect.
Hush. I will tell you later. Now we have more important things to do.
Fortunately for me, the lady and her lover could not carry out their nefarious scheme. The Lady Rowena was attacked with a sudden illness, from which her recovery was slow. The fever which consumed her rendered her nights uneased. In her disturbed state of half-slumber, she spoke of sounds and motions in and about the turret.
Listen, did you not hear that? Was that not the rapping of a shutter?
Nonsense. It's just your imagination, caused by fever.
There's something behind the curtains. See how they move?
There's no one behind the curtains. Look, it's the wind. Shh, be still. I'll get you some wine.
As I proceeded to procure the wine, I felt that some palpable but invisible object had passed my person, and I saw that there lay on the carpet a shadow, or what might be fancied for the shadow of an apparition. I soon persuaded myself that these wild imaginings were products of my overindulgence of liquor, however.
Rowena! Rowena!
A rapid change for the worse took place in the disorder of my wife, so that, by the third subsequent night, the hands of her menials had prepared her for the tomb. I gazed at the pallid, rigid figure on the deathbed, and with the turbulent violence of a flood, 1,000 memories of Lygia came back upon my heart. It might have been midnight or so, for I had taken no note of time, when a sob, low, gentle, but distinct, startled me from my reverie. I listened in an agony of superstitious terror, but there was no repetition of the sound that seemed to have come from the bed of death. I resolutely kept my attention to the corpse, and it seemed that a slight rustle of the burial shroud occurred. Or was it my drunken imagination? I could no longer doubt that we had been hasty in the funeral preparations. Rowena still lived. I had no means of summoning servants without leaving the room. I, therefore, struggled alone in my endeavors to call back the spirit yet hovering. Rowena! Rowena! In a short period, a relapse appeared to take place. A repulsive clamminess and coldness overspread rapidly the surface of the body, and all rigidness and stiffness supervened. I fell back with a shudder, and again gave myself up to the passionate waking visions of Lygia. An hour thus elapsed when I was again aware of some vague sound issuing from the deathbed. I felt my vision grow dim, my reason wandered. It was only by a violent effort that I succeeded in nerving myself to the task which duty dictated. A warmth pervaded the frame, and there was a slight pulsation of the heart. The lady lived! With redoubled effort and ardor, I betook myself to the task of restoration. I chafed and bathed the temples and hands and used every exertion I knew of. In vain! Suddenly the pulsation ceased, and the body took upon itself the icy chilliness, the intense rigidity, and all the loathsome peculiarities of that which has been a tenant of the tomb. And again I sunk into visions of Lygia. Again there reached my ears a low sob from the region of the deathbed. How many times was this hideous drama of revivification repeated? And how many times was each terrible relapse repeated? How each agony wore the aspect of a struggle with some invisible foe. The greater part of the night had worn away, and she, who had been dead, once again stirred, now more vigorously than before. I had long since ceased to struggle or to move, and remained sitting rigidly on the chair, a helpless prey to a whirl of violent emotions, of which extreme awe was perhaps the least terrible. I could no longer doubt that the fair-haired Rowena lived, when arising from the deathbed, tottering with feeble steps, with closed eyes, the thing that was enshrouded, advanced bodily and palpably into the middle of the room. I trembled not, I stirred not, for a crowd of unutterable fancies connected with the stature, the demeanor of the apparition had paralyzed me, had chilled me into stone. Could it, indeed, be the living Rowena? Why should I doubt it? Had she then grown taller since her malady? What inexpressible madness seized me with that thought? One bound, and I had reached her feet. Shrinking from my touch, she let fall from her head the ghastly cerements which had confined it, and there streamed forth, into the rushing atmosphere of the chamber, masses of long black hair.
Can I never be mistaken? These are the full and wild eyes of my lost love, of the lady, Lygia.